Hello, guys, and welcome to BTP, Beyond the Pulpit podcast. This is a show where we're going to bring to you conversations that cannot take part or take place at the pulpit. My name is Tracian, and I'll be your host. I have a co-host. I will allow him to introduce himself.
Hi guys, my name is Lawrence Njuguna. Yes, and I will be your co-host for today's episode, our first episode, Beyond the Pulpit podcast.
Okay, so on our first episode, I think it is only fair that we have the person who is the brains behind this very particular podcast, the one who made sure it is happening. And it is none other than our very able Silas Otieno. But Nimsi akona titles mingi, and I don't think I am going to do his introduction justice. So he will go ahead and tell us how many hats he wears.
My name is Silas Otieno. Yes, I wear many hats. I'm a businessman, director, Project Lucas Foundation, a deacon. What else? I don't even remember. I can't even remember. A guy who goes to gym.
Fitness
He's
trainer.
a gym enthusiast.
A gym enthusiast. So, an author. And so, many things, yeah.
Kali sana. Larry, wewe ni nani?
I also wear many hats.
Okay. But you don't have one right now.
I don't have one on set. But then tukiendelea na hii podcast, mtaona huyu jamaa anya anavaa many hats.
Oh, true.
Every episode different hats.
Juu atakuwa nakuja. Karibu sana Silas.
Asante,
Karibu
asante,
sana.
asante.
And I know watu wanaona tumeshikilia kitu. So we are here to talk about this particular book. Amesema he's a man who wears very many hats. But we are here to talk about particularly this book. Inaitwa Corporate Power Plays. So we are today we have author Silas on set. We do not have Deacon. We do not have Baba Jaden. Baba. We don't have all
don't
those.
have Silas and Sons.
Hata director hatuna. Leo tuko na author Silas bestseller. Juu kidogo lazima tumchoche kidogo. So karibu sana.
Aspiring bestseller. Aspiring.
Okay, aspiring bestseller. You will know him after this. You will know his name. Everyone will know it. So let's just go straight into it. Let's talk about the book. Let's talk about what inspired you to write this book. It's about corporate. Can you take us back to when you started your journey in corporate?
I'll not say really starting my journey in corporate, but naweza sema that I have worked in so many places. I've worked under so many people, and one of the things that I've done, or one of the things that nimepata from the places I've worked, is just observing how people behave. People are interesting, and it's very interesting to observe how people behave, especially at the work setup. Mm-hmm. And I have come to realize that everything about the corporate world or working is about power plays and all that. Guys aspire to be very powerful people. That's why we work hard. We want to be on top. Like for example, wanasemanga this guy who was the first on the moon, I think Neil Armstrong. Nobody remembers who's the second. So you're either number one or you're not. So yeah, that's why I was inspired to write this book.
Okay. Larry, do you have a question for him as we start?
No, I don't have a question yet.
But maybe kuongeza,
Mm-hmm.
One of the reasons why I didn't write this book to commercialize it.
Okay.
I have been visited by many of our young people, especially from church, who just gotten to work, wameanza job, and many of them have faced a lot of challenges in the work setup. So they used to come to my office and share their challenges with me. And when they share their challenges, the advice I give to them on how they should behave in their business area or in the company they are working is what inspired me to write. So when I was writing this book, I just wanted it to be, instead of someone coming to the office and sometimes I don't even have time to meet with them and talk with them, I came up with a manual that if someone comes, nampatia namwambia just go and read and apply these 15 laws and you'll know how to survive in the corporate world. Because I've seen a lot of people mess up. I have also messed up in the corporate world. I've seen people commit grave mistakes that have costed their careers. And this book is aimed at making someone not to make that mistake.
Okay.
Yeah.
So before tuifungue, mi naona hii kitabu iko na cover very interesting. Na sijui kama mnakumbuka wenye mnawatch na kidogo miaka zenu zimeenda. Sikumbuki kama mnakumbuka in high school tukisoma set books tulikuwa tunachambua hadi cover venye inakaa. Unaambiwa what do you see, the deeper meaning. So I'd like for you to take us step by step. We're going to go huku ndani, but first of all the cover. Tell us what is here. Nikichukua hii kitabu nimeangalia hivi. What is it that I'm seeing?
So first of all, the cover is navy blue. Na tumeandika hapo kwa cover corporate power plays, navigating success with strategy. And ukiangalia the cover itself iko na a boardroom setup. Yeah. So in every given setup where guys sit, kuna kuanga na these guys seated here are all in suits and all that. We have two people standing, we have one in a laptop and all that. But all these people work on a different levels. Like they don't, even though they sit at the same table, they don't sit on the same level. And there is a reason why the guys who are on top are on top. There's a reason why the guys who are hapo chini, not to say it in a bad way, because there's nothing wrong with being huko chini. There's a reason why the guys are on the top. The guys on the top are the guys. Some guys are at the top, na wengine wako huko chini. Yeah.
So that's it.
Yeah, that's it. Just a boardroom setup. Na hapo kwa boardroom wanasemanga was a won at the table. Was a won at the table before guys going into the battlefield. Wase ushinda kwa table. So this is where the wars are won. And if you want to be the one who determines how to win these wars, you have to know the corporate world. You have to be interested in people.
Yeah.
Like if you are interested in people, you'll know how to navigate that world.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Mi naangalia tu nyinyi mko na hizo copies, mi niko na the real deal. Mi niko na
manuscript.
Mi niko na manuscript.
Yenye nipeleka kwa editor, sisi tuko na final copy.
Ndio editor alipewa hii.
Okay. Deep state. Sorry bas.
I'm saying nakumbuka venye tukiwa high school mwalimu alikuwa anasema the blue. Unapata kuna swali, why is it blue? Blue
is it blue?
Means glue means bro, unaona 10 marks. Why mbona ni blue? But mbona nimeona haina blab. Why?
Yeah.
Ukiangalia many boardrooms, and I think siwezi sema I'm an expert on this, but ukiangalia many boardrooms inakuanga corporate colors are usually very dull. It's very difficult kupata unless wase wanafanya vitu za creative and all those things. Inakuanga very gloomy or something. I think it has something to do with the amount of games that zinachezangwa kwa hiyo meza. So I chose navy blue because of many boardrooms inakanga hivi. And most of the tables are usually brown, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ni kama hakunanga colors zingine. Can you make the table red?
No, you can't.
Joking. So I think we'll go straight into it because tukiongea before we started filming, he was talking about the different laws that are in this book. It has 15 laws. 15 na mezi break down. Every law has dedicate its own chapter. So ikitabu ukinunua si chapter 1 ni law 1 na law 2 hadi law 15. Author nani kama huyo. So bestseller, aspiring bestseller. So I think the best thing is we go law by law, ukitu explain, ukitu describe, and then I think Larry and I will learn a thing or two from this. Yeah. And you who is watching. So yeah, na itakumotivate pia ununue kitabu. Tumekwambia by the time tunamaliza hii episode mtakuwa mnasema jina Silas Otieno. So yeah, let's go law by law as you educate us.
Yeah, before niende kwa law by law, in the introduction part of it, like nilikuwa nasema that kuna people think unasikia vile tulikuwa tunaambiwa hard work is the key to success. I believe that there is more to success than hard work. Hard work is a common factor. Like there is a paragraph I've written in Asema, the corporate arena is not just about skills and hard work. We have so many guys who are skilled, talented, and hardworking, but yet they don't make it in the corporate world. Wanakuwa pushed out. Inasema it's also, so it's not just about skills and hard work. It's also about strategic thinking. Like you must be a guy who thinks strategically, and then understanding human nature. You must be able to you must find a special interest in people.
Okay.
Just observing them when you sit in a room, usikae tu, and you know people love themselves so much.
Yeah.
If you want to navigate the corporate world, you must be interested in learning people, including your boss. You must know them from top to bottom. Hata kama we ndio uko huko kwa gate, we ndio cleaner, you must make it a habit of learning the people that you work with, and then mastering the art of influence, because this is not something anyone is born with. You are never born an influential person. Influence is something that we cultivate as we move through the world that we live in. So just finding a special interest in people.
Okay. I think hiyo yenye umesema unafaa ukwe interested na kujua boss wako, ndio I think inakuanga a bit difficult because people find their bosses a bit intimidating. Unaendaga kwa boss wako kama unahitaji kitu. Huwezi pata employer na employee mmeketi the same place mnaanza kupiga story. Hiyo ni jaba. At least not in the corporate world, I know. But I think that's good. I think it's something that people can learn.
Yeah.
I think learning about your boss ni kitu rahisi. It's not, si lazima mkwe friends so that you learn about them. Like even if you see them once in a week, you can just learn about them. For example, these big companies, their profiles are all over. Unaweza waangalia when you are in a meeting, the way they react. Like for example, when we are doing interviews, I like to observe an interviewee based on body language. Ukiangalia how people behave when they sit down, how they sit, how they answer questions, their eye movement, their hands. Like get interested in seeing that person. Usiangalie tu nguo amevaa na hizo vitu zingine.
Topa.
Vitu important, the most important things kwa mse ni what actually what you see, how they react. There's a question you can ask someone and they get angry and you don't notice it.
Yeah.
So you must notice even the tiny details. Like for example, this photo iko hapa nyuma. If you tell 10 random people wakuambia about the photo, kila mtu ataona simba, ataona the very obvious things that are on that photo. But it takes an interested person kuona beyond that, kuona even the tiny details in that photo. And that's how to navigate the corporate world.
You see, ameongea kuhusu the photo, and they remember people who love art and they're going to this what are they called, galleries, and they say ile picture imeniongelesha. I've never understood what that means, but it just means you have an eye for detail.
Yeah.
And being interested in it.
Yeah.
Okay, interesting.
Okay.
Interesting. So we can go to Loan now. Okay, wait, I have a question now. About umesema about being friends. Do you maintain, you've said you're a director at Project Lucas. Can you say that you're friends with your employees? Employees.
Yeah, I can
Friends.
say that I am friends with them because leading people, na kuna one of the laws that we'll talk about where now you are close to the people you're working with. Because sometimes influence, kuna wase, when I was being interviewed for this job, niliulizwa, which is most important to you, being feared or being respected? Na nikasema both. You have to have all those things, being feared and being respected. And how do you get respected sometimes? Locking yourself in the room, kuna watu wanapata respect just based on the position they hold. Like take away the position from the person, huyo mse ameisha. But there are those guys who, regardless of their position, there's a book by Robin Sharma inaitwa the Prince who had no title. There are guys, even in the corporate world, they are not on top huko juu kwa influence, but you can never ignore them. They are very powerful, yet they don't have that office. Na sasa, I think the most important thing is ukwe powerful based on yourself as an individual, rather than ukwe powerful based on the office bestowed upon you.
Okay.
So if power is based on who you are, then you will not mind being friends with the people you work with, though it is discouraged. Yeah.
Juu inaleta mazoeano.
Yeah.
Kidogo kwa kazi,
Yeah.
boundaries can be crossed,
yeah.
nini.
How do you balance that? How do you balance the desire for success with the need to maintain genuine relationships and healthy work life?
You can have both of them, where you maintain healthy working relationships. Because you see, when you're working with people, you also need to be closer to them, to be close to them, so that you can know them, you can know their strengths. Like Project Lucas najua wase with their strengths and their weaknesses. Kuna job siwezi patia mtu because I know this is not part of your strength. Kuna zile kazi zenye unajua hii ni there are guys like I've noticed even in our organization, there are guys who are not office people. You force them to be in an office, they will never perform. They will always feel like they are in a cage. But you take them to the field, if the organization that you're working for in a field work, you take them to the field, they become perfect.
100%.
So knowing these people, now having a relationship with them, you get to know their abilities.
Yeah.
Now unaweza wa assign jobs based on their, because the point is to get people to succeed wakifanya hizi jobs and to get the organization to move far. Yeah.
Mnaona kwa nini niliandika kitabu? He has a lot of gems.
Man,
A lot of gems. Ameanza tu kuzispit.
hata hatujaanza
Na tujaanza hata law by
tuko
law.
introduction bado.
Nakwambia mtasoma. Hapa mtasoma.
Itabidi mmenunua hii book. Ako na vitu mingi sana za kuambia. Okay, law 1. Tumemaliza introduction? Is there anything else you want to add on the introduction?
Yes. I drew inspiration from a book that is very controversial. Na hiyo iko na story interesting.
Very.
The book is written by Robert Greene called The 48 Laws of Power. When I was working in church, I was very, very passionate about it. I'm usually very passionate about what I do.
Yeah.
So kuna time kulikuwa na some discussions and I ended up arguing too much. And I was arguing with my superiors. Like I was trying to push my points. So one of the guys I look up to kwa church, aliniita, like they noticed. One of them visited me. They're actually two guys. One visited me in my office na akaniambia, Silas, by the way, you had very strong points, but you argued too much. Ulikuwa argue too much, so ili neutralize what you had. Mwingine akaniambia that akaniita kwa ofisi yake, nikaenda akaniambia, Silas, I want you to read a book called 48 Laws of Power by Robert Greene. I ended up reading the book 5 times. Like that book, I have had it almost memorized. And every time I read a chapter, I would see the blunders that I have made. I would see those blunders. So that is where I drew inspiration from.
But your book is not manipulative per se.
Never.
It's from a different angle now.
Yes, sasa.
We thank God.
One way of knowing that you understand something, that you have mastery over something is unaweza ichukua, unaweza let's say, for lack of a better way to put it, reform.
Okay.
Like the laws, if you read the book, they are very moral laws. We are not using anything yenye inaweza enda kuambia watu go be manipulative or it's just being strategic in how you think and how you behave in the business world.
Okay.
And this also applies in relationships. By the way, easy laws zinakata cross.
Double entry.
Ni double entry. David na credit.
Okay, interesting. So I think finally now we can get to law 1.
Yeah.
So law number 1 is never outshine your master.
Okay.
So many people make this blunder. This is corporate suicide. Outshining the people or your superiors. There are superiors who are better, or who you can get into an organization or ujikute, you are better than your boss. More qualified academically and even strategically na think, but not outshining your master means that you always keep your superiors comfortable at their position. Like for example, nimepatia napo nikasema in the professional realm, it's crucial to acknowledge the accomplishments, experience and respect the authority of your superiors. Refrain from excessively emphasizing your own achievements, as this can potentially evoke feelings of insecurity. Instead, focus on supporting their objectives and recognizing their leadership role. By doing so, you'll cultivate an environment where they perceive you as a collaborative ally rather than a competitive rival. You don't want to to compete with the person who is on top of you, because they can easily kill your dream. They can easily bring you down. They can give a report that can get you fired. They can be malicious. So whenever you realize that you are better than the person or your boss, make sure that your skills complement his. Na nimepatia na example hapo. Let's say for example Larry hapa, I am his boss, na Larry is better than me at doing something. Instead of Larry trying to do that thing to outshine me, kunionyesha venye sijui, what he can do, he can come to me and even ask for my advice. You know I am actually not on your level. But you just come and, for example, I can come and ask, anaweza kuja niulize, by the way, there is this thing I wanted to do. What is your advice on it? Of course, bosses feel so nice when the guys who are below them come to them. They feel superior. They feel comfortable. So when I give you advice, you know what you want to do. You know that whatever you're going to do will work. But it's like you're drawing inspiration from me. So mi nakwambia what to do, and then you go and implement what you do. When you're actually even reporting about it, let's say for example it was a project you were doing, you went with your project manager, umemuuliza hivyo, and you're the guy who is doing the presentation. Acknowledge him before people. Yeah, say that you have gotten inspiration from his advice.
Okay.
Like don't make it look like it is you.
Me. Okay.
That way, anything you want to do, that guy will be on your side. And there is nothing as good as your superior being on your side. You'll achieve a lot. You will move the ranks. They will recommend you. They will do stuff that you wouldn't be able to do without their power. So that is the law. And naweza wapatia an example of someone who contradicted this law. There's a guy in France alikuwa anaitwa Nicolas Fouquet. Ukisoma inakaa Fouquet. Nicolas Fouquet was the finance minister of a guy called King Louis XIV. Ukisoma your story, it's online. It's a very interesting story. Now, Nicolas Fouquet was very close to the king. In fact, he used to steal money on behalf of the king. King alikuwa anamtumia sana because he was his finance minister. So one day there was a position, a high-ranking position that the guy, I don't know if he died or left. Mse alitoka kwa position. And then Nicolas Fouquet, being close to the king, knew that he was going to be the one mwenye ataingia kwa hiyo position. So what the king did, what Louis XIV did, he abolished that seat. Alitoa hiyo seat akasema haitakuwa occupied. So Nicolas Fouquet akasikia, it's like I'm losing favor from the king.
Yeah.
So he decided to do something to the king or something in honor of the king, ndio arudi back into good graces na the king. Yeah. So what he did, alitengeneza the biggest bash, the biggest party ever made in France. Na alitengeneza hiyo party in honor of the king. He invited the nobilities. Wase walikuwa na kama wanaingia kwa hiyo bash wanasema, Nicolas Fouquet is a seriously good planner. He has thrown a bash that like no other. Unajua King Louis XIV alikuwa a very insecure king. He was a very insecure king. So imagine the king is seated there. Every person who is in authority wants to be the center of attraction or attention. So Nicolas Fouquet wakafanya hiyo bash kabisa, ilikuwa na everything. You can read about it. The king felt jealous when all was said and done.
And it was in his honor.
It was in his honor, by the way. He was doing it in his honor.
Were you jealous?
Because guys were praising Nicolas Fouquet.
Okay.
For throwing that party. So what happened? I think 2 weeks later, the guy was arrested. Na unajua alikuwa charged with what? With stealing from the kingdom.
Yet he was doing it for them.
Yet he was doing it on behalf of the king. So walisema yeye ni mwizi, wakampeleka in an island, wakamfungia, and he died. So instead of Nicolas Fouquet being powerful because of trying to please the king or outshining, he outshone his king, and that costed him his life. So never do that.
So what would he have done? And the king sana nataka ku
reflect your achievements on the king, on the person who is in authority.
Okay.
Let it look like his achievements. By the way, it won't diminish ile kitu yenye unafanya. Make it in his honor. Ask for his advice. That's what I used
How
to
he
do.
wanted the party to go, ama.
Yes, sometimes I would know what to
Okay.
do in
But
a
you
given
still call your
situation.
boss.
But naenda tu kwa boss wangu namwambia, I need your advice on this and this. And dosi anakupatia advice and then you do it. Then when it succeeds, you go back to the
Unapatia
boss and
credit.
then nasema, unaambia watu, by the way, drawing inspiration from my boss. He's the one who directed me to do this and this. So both of you are shining, but he shines more. Let your boss shine more than you. And that way you will attain the heights of power.
Nakaa ni kama kufanyia paka hivi Simba unaipet kidogo una massage
Alisema
wiping
tutalan,
them in.
yenyewe tunalan.
Nasikudanganyi, if you do something the opposite of that will cost you, because you see Nicola
Corporate
Fuki
suicide.
ali commit that suicide na akachujwa na akadai.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, wow, that is inaweza feel ngumu, especially when it comes to taking credit. I think as an employee, I'd also want hata mimi nionekane ninaweza.
Exactly. There's a place for that, and I'll give you a law that itakufanya uonekane.
Okay. It
Yeah.
seems we are sorted. We will learn everything. Aya, we go to law 2.
So law number 2, which is, I've not arranged them in order, but outshining your master is always law number 1, even in Robert Greene's book. So juu nimezi summarize from 48 to 15. So my law number 3 is my law number 2 is law number 3 in the book. Inasema, conceal your intentions. Transparency can sometimes lead to vulnerabilities. We're not saying that guys should not be transparent, but transparent can sometimes lead to vulnerabilities. By keeping your long-term goals and strategies to yourself, you prevent others from sabotaging your plans. Share only what's necessary and keep your true objectives hidden, creating an air of unpredictability. There are guys who work in corporate setups yenye wase wana compete against each other. Imagine you have come up with an idea that would benefit the company na inaweza propel the company into greater heights. And then you go and share it with someone in the company who is competing with you. What they will do is they will undercut you.
Yeah.
Someone can even take your ideas and present them as their own. And imagine sitting down in a boardroom meeting and seeing someone present your own ideas. And we have seen that.
Yeah.
We've even seen in the media, mse anasema, this guy stole my song. How does someone steal another person's song or content? It's because you maybe have shown it before, you produced it. So concealing your intention is being strategic with the information that you give. Don't spill the beans too much. There are people who talk a lot.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that is also corporate suicide if you are a person who
Yep.
likes to talk too much.
I've had a conversation with you before and you talked about uliongelelea ukiwa na emotions, ukiwa juu ama chini, ukiwa angry ama ukiwa happy, usiongee sana.
Yeah, there are 2 occasions zenye ni mbaya sana kuongea. And I see so many people make these mistakes. By saying do not speak too much, I don't mean don't speak. Personally, if we sit down, I'll speak a lot. Tukikaa na wewe tutaongea na nitaongea sana. But I am very conscious about what I say. When you are extremely happy and when you are extremely angry, it's the wrong time to talk. When you're extremely happy, you make promises.
Over.
Sitasema ni nani, but unakumbuka kuna mtu,
We
kuna
all
jamaa
know.
alishinda award. Kuna jamaa alishinda award akasema Mungu sitaki kuacha. That is
Look at him
extreme.
now.
That is a situation of extreme happiness. Your mind just races, your heart beats very quickly. You can tell anyone anything. When you're extremely angry, you want to attack. So, and a lot of truth is spoken at those times, especially anger. Anger is a serious emotion that is an emotion that you should seriously have control over. Okay. So don't talk. When you're angry, just keep quiet. Or do something else. Go to the gym. Inue chuma, piga ukuta ngumi. but don't talk, because the things you say in your anger will cost you or would cost you. Yeah.
That also applies in every other aspect, not only in corporate, even in friendships, everything, at relationships. There's a tweet I saw a while back, a post on X.
An X.
An X
not a
I
tweet.
saw. There's an X I saw, and they were talking about 3 things that you should try and keep private: your relationships, your job, especially your finances, and all of that. And I can't remember the third one. So yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, if you spill the beans too much, you attract a lot of envy.
Yeah.
You attract a lot of competition. You'll be undercut. Sometimes be strategic at what you reveal. You can reveal a project or a proposal in bits. You can reveal it in bits, and ile time umeitoa, you only spill all the beans when unajua hakuna mtu anaweza kukuundercut on what you have done. Let me give you an example yenye iko in the book, a historical example ya huyu jamaa anaitwa Haile Selassie.
Peace and loving.
Peace and loving. Haile Selassie was a very, very cunning emperor in Ethiopia. No wonder these guys just admire him like that. So he had a rival. Rival alikuwa anaitwa Balcha Safo. This guy was a serious military guy. Alikuwa Haile Selassie akiwa Ethiopia, alikuwa his opposition, but a smaller opposition, but a formidable opponent of Haile Selassie. So Haile Selassie alikuwa anataka kummaliza. Alikuwa anataka yeye akwe the emperor wa Ethiopia kabisa. So what happened? He invited Balcha, who was his rival. Akamwambia, come, let's have dinner. Or let's have a meal together. Let's have a truce.
Let's share something.
Yes. Balcha anajua Haile Selassie anakuanga msem cunning sana. He knows this cunning. And by the way, the most paranoid people, the people who fear to be deceived the most, are the ones who are usually deceived the most. The most paranoid people are the easiest to deceive. So Balcha alikuwa paranoid sana. So akaambia Haile Selassie, unataka kuniua. Why are you inviting me? Do you want to kill me?
Haile Selassie, it's a bit suspicious though.
Yeah. Haile Selassie acted offended. It's like, why would you even say that? Nani my rivals. Huh? So this guy told Haile Selassie, I'll come on one condition. And the condition is that I will come with 600 of my most elite soldiers. Haile Selassie akamwambia, knock yourself out. So akakam na wase 600, and then he camped near where Haile Selassie was. So camping there, akaambia, out of the 600, alikuwa na 30, the elite of the elites, wale mama sceneries, alikuwa nao 30. Akaingia nao party. Na akaambia the rest of his soldiers, msikule kitu, don't eat, don't drink. Your work is to guard. If I don't show up after this while, muattack. And they were a serious force. So akaenda, Haile Selassie akapresent food. Balcha on the other side, unajua hataki to take the first bite lest it's poisoned. Haile Selassie acted again offended. Akachukua hiyo food, akaikula food ya Balcha, akaionja. I don't know if it was food or wine, but akaionja. Ndio amuonesha iko poisoned. Wakakula, the guy alikuwa too very paranoid and observe. After amemaliza kudishi, Balcha si anarudi na forces zake. Akifika kwa kampi yake ile ya 600, unajua when they were camping walikuwa naekanga matents na kila kitu. Akifika hapo kwa camp, there is no one. There is no blood, but there is literally nobody. What? So si akona 30 men. Akaona tumedanganywa, akataka kurudi kuattack. Akienda kuattack, akaona amia Haile Selassie imemzunguka from ile side nyingine na hii side nyingine.
Checkmate.
Alikuwa ameshikwa vizuri. And that is how he was neutralized na aka offer allegiance to him. Look at what Haile Selassie did. He concealed his intentions. His intentions was to destroy the guy. But imagine, he finished his rival without lifting a sword. Hakuinua even a sword. There was no bloodshed. You know what had happened to the army?
The army, yeah.
Alipatia soldiers wake do. Wakaenda kwa hiyo camp, walilipa hawa soldiers, wakanunua all their weapons, and they gave them, someone tells you,
Yeah.
I will pay you. It's either we fight or I pay you. You'd choose the easier way.
Yeah.
So wakapatiwa do wakambwa waende home.
home.
Wakaenda home. Now that's how we finished him. That's how he became the supreme emperor of Ethiopia. So always conceal your intentions. Reveal only when the other person cannot overrule you or cannot undercut.
Hapa tuko class.
Hapa tuko class.
Hapa mko daru.
tuko daru.
Tuendelee.
Hapo inakuonyesha trust nobody.
But if you read the book, kuna places where nimepatiana exemptions, situations where concealing your intentions would actually hurt you. Every law has an exemption, but you don't make a rule out of an exemption. So, like for example, when you want to build trust and collaboration, I'm working with my staff, I can't hide everything from them. Imagine tunaenda kufanya job and then I'm hiding the things that we are doing from them. We will not do a good job. So those are, you be wise in how you do these things. Kuna place flani, especially, let's say collaborate na mse in a job. You need to disclose such kind of things. And as a leader, when I'm sharing the vision of the organization, I share it fully. This is where we want to go. This is how we want to go there. So those are exemptions. So every law hapa iko na contradiction, iko na observance, na iko na exemption.
Okay.
Yeah.
We move to the next one. Unless
Yeah,
not
yeah.
exhausted.
Hizo zingine unaweza nunua kitabu uone. Unataka
Utaki
kila
kuwapatia
kitu.
yote.
Unataka Reader's Digest.
Okay, no, let me just acha tuende kwa hii law 4 inasema always say less than necessary. Hizo the previous one conceal your intentions, are they not married?
They build on each other. When we always say less than necessary, I mean know what to reveal and to whom.
Be wise.
Yeah, be wise in how you deal with information. Like for example, there's hata ukienda hapo kwa okay, let's just look at it and then naweza patiana hiyo example.
Right.
The first paragraph nasema, in meetings and discussions, be concise and to the point. The less you say, the less likely you are to inadvertently reveal information that could be used against you or misinterpreted. This also helps to maintain an aura of mystery and control. Kulikuwa na saying in church, watu walikuwa nasemanga, if Silas takes you out, I like taking guys out for lunch, tukae tu chini yani. We discussed the most favorite topic. Unajua which is the most favorite topic of people? Themselves. I just love to sit down and listen to people talk about themselves. And people love it. Like, guys would enjoy your company if you just sat down with them na useme tu, mi nataka kukujua. And they would speak and speak and speak about themselves. They reveal a lot about who they really are. So, always say less than necessary nasema. Just be concise. Speak, reveal the things that are necessary to reveal.
Okay.
The more you talk, the more you'll say something foolish. By then you'll say something foolish. And this law does not mean that you keep quiet. Because again, if you keep quiet too much, people get suspicious about you.
Yeah.
Imagine if you are seated down having a conversation, na wewe uongei, mimi nitaanza kushuku. Kama saa hii, nitaanza kushuku na kushuku.
Una observe tu. Afande, please.
Umetumwa.
Umetumwa. Who do you work for?
Who's your boss?
When you find someone who is overly quiet, unless they are introverted or something,
Even introverts talk.
then you can utakuwa suspicious. But saying less than necessary is important. This is one of the laws zenye inakuwa very interesting. I don't know if I have, again nimetumia Louis XIV. He was a very interesting guy.
Okay.
There is a guy, I don't remember him. He didn't appear in this book because sikupata hizo examples zake poa. These things Robert Greene has spoken about them. There's this guy who in Russia walikuwa wame lead an uprising against the king or the emperor let's just assume the leader. So kulidio uprising, the king crushed them, or the emperor. So kwa crash, akawaita. So those guys who were captured in that crash, the sentence was death by hanging. So wakachukua huyu boys wakamweka kwa guillotine. So, you know the way walikuwa na hang wase kitambo in public. So wakamweka kwa guillotine wakamwamhang. So jamaa akaekwa, kamba ikaekwa kwa shingo, ikakatwa. Akahang, wakati anapiga miguu hivi, kamba ikakatika. Now in Russia, if that happened during those times, if that happened in Russia, it was a sign, a divine sign that God amespea umse. So what the leader would do, alikuwa na sign your pardon. Like if you survive a hanging, alikuwa na sign your pardon. So this guy amekewa kamba kwa shingo, sini ile execute, ikakatwa. Hiyo kitu ikikatwa, jamaa venye alihang ikakatika, si akamka chini. So one of the messages wa the leader akapeleka the presidential pardon, where the king, let's call him president, where the president was supposed to sign, umse achiliwe. So president akichukua hiyo kitu, or the leader akichukua hiyo kitu, before assign akamuuliza, what did this guy say? Akaambiwa, this guy said, you see, even in Russia, you don't know how to do anything right. You don't even know how to make rope. King akaangalia hiyo kitu akasema, okay, let's prove the contrary. The guy was hung the next day and he died.
Oh,
all this guy had to do was shut up. That's all he had to do. But sasa juu alikuwa na mock Russia, even akasema, why is he tengeneza even a rope to hang someone? King alijam wakasema, let's prove to them that we can make good rope.
Let me show you.
So akakata kusign.
Take two.
Huyo Jamali dead.
That what? Watu wajifunze kunyamaza. Unapenda kusema hiyo kitu sana.
Sana.
Jifunze kunyamaza because it will cost you. You let's say you disagree with your boss and you hate how foolish he is. Imagine in your anger umekama umemwambia venye ni mjinga. And he can prove to you the otherwise.
Ajui ati venye hujui.
Unamuonesha venye ajui. Sometimes you might want to bring something na ukute that mdosi haitaki na unajua tu ni ujinga yake, for lack of a better way to put it. Don't reveal. Don't speak. If you're angry, keep quiet. In a corporate setup, mimi nimeona wasa kibang meza. Mimi nimeona msee kibang meza. Jamaa ana push point yake, anagongea watu meza, the conversation shifts. You could be right. Unaweza kuwa umepatiana kitu right sana. But immediately umefanya something that portray anger. Umeshaonesha, it's like speaking, ama umespeak out of anger. The conversation shifts. Sawa, si wanaachana na hiyo kitu ulikuwa unaje, wanaanza concentrate na wewe. Na wanaanza kusema na umse yako. That's what I did in that particular board meeting. Nilikuwa passionate sana na ma points, na nilikuwa najua hizi points nikizileta kwa meza kila mtu atashangilia.
Must be hard.
Nilipata the opposite boss. Nilireact na my emotions hapo. And I said some things not very nasty. I was very careful about what I said, but hawa sasa walinikuta later. Wakaniambia sasa unaona attract attention to yourself rather than to what you were presenting, though you were right. In fact, my boss acknowledged that I was right, but
it was how you presented
umekuja
sana umekahora. Tulia, pump some brakes.
So learn to tame your tongue. Even the Bible talks about taming your tongue.
True.
The tongue is a very small, the Bible says it's a very small, it's like the rudder of a ship. But it can turn, the rudder is so small, the ship is huge. But you're steering in a tongue. So is your tongue.
Iko kwa James.
Just so you know.
Just so you know. Iko James.
You're reading your words.
Yeah. So just always say less than necessary.
Okay.
But don't be too quiet, raising suspicion, or people start being suspicious about you. Yeah.
Okay. I have a question.
Yes.
In how the corporate world keeps changing. Easy points zitakaa relevant. Easy laws rather. Will they remain relevant ama zita evolve with the time?
hizi laws as evolve, like ukiangalia examples tunapatiana ni za Russia za kitambo, Nicolas
Selassie.
Fouquet na
King
na
Louis
King Louis
14th.
Haile Selassie ni examples za kitambo sana. So that means they apply even today because human beings have not changed. Unajua mimi si believe in evolution. Human beings have not changed. They're the same guys.
Yeah.
And even in church, and let me tell you, everything about this life is it's a chessboard. Ni games. Power is games. Na wale wase wenye wanakuwa powerful ni wale wase wanajua kucheza hizi games vizuri. Yeah? Ni wase wanajua kucheza hizi games. Na guys think that power is something negative. In fact, be suspicious of people who tell you they don't want to be powerful. Because they hide it. Everyone wants to be powerful. Yeah. Everyone wants to be the richest. Everyone wants to be the strongest. Everyone wants to be the wisest. So people do stuff to become that. Some use unlawful means. Like for example, a guy would do business, illegal business, to be the richest.
Yeah.
And claim to be the richest.
Whatever it takes. Okay. Now because umesema hatuwezi pitia zote, I'd like to know which law, just one from this 15, which one is not your favorite, but which one is it that you would, apart from do not outshine your master, you umesema cuts across, which one would you ask or advise anyone who is budding or who is just getting into the corporate world? Hiyo ni gani unaweza mwambia hii shikilia na ukimbie nayo?
I think saying less than necessary. Saying less than necessary because your mouth can cost you. Your mouth can make you make blunders and you see it all over social media. Wale kuna wase hutokea tu kuongea. Kuna watu and guys hate them.
Facts.
Yes, guys just get to a point and they hate those people who speak a lot. You just keep quiet, observe, say what you have to say. Like let me give you an example of always saying less than necessary. When you make your life, when you show us everything about your life, it's like speaking. Yeah. You're showing us every little detail. Hata penye una doze. Hata penye unaishi. Ukinunua hii kitu tunajua.
Don't we know that?
It attracts a lot of envy. It attracts a lot of, some people do it deliberately so that other guys can get envious, and sometimes I think inakuga tu personal insecurities that make people want that much attention. So just be moderate in what you do. The things that you're supposed to reveal them. Those that you're not supposed to, don't. Yeah, otherwise they will cost you.
And a personal favorite, apart from the three that we've talked about, any other that is a personal favorite law, that one you carry so dearly?
I think concealing your intentions and courting attention. I've just spoken about attention. Ni kama napatia na contradiction of what I've just said. Courting attention, like there's a law here inasema court attention at all costs. That means make your work known. In the corporate world, make your work known. You can do that without outshining your master. You can do that without saying more than necessary. But whenever you do something, just put it out there. Yeah. People will know, will acknowledge your strength, will acknowledge those things, and do it moderately. But just put it out there. When you have a nice project, go to your bosses, talk to them, let them see it, ask for their advice. Let them know that you're doing something. Let them know that you are thinking ahead. Let them know that you want to improve. I usually tell people, be that guy kwa a corporate setup where wase wakidiscuss firing, the way laying off of employees, jina yako ikikam, there's a lot of objection. There are such kind of employees. Like jina yake inakam in a boardroom setup, watu wako Z. You cannot talk about this one. Huyo hapana. But kuna wale hadi mdosi ana wish. Umse si afanye tu blanda tumchuje. Umse si blanda tu hata aniangalie vibaya nimuoneshe. There are those guys that people want to get rid of very quickly. Yeah. Be the opposite. Be the guy that and that is by courting attention.
Okay.
In a moral way.
Before we started filming, you talked about how I think we also mentioned it in the episode about venye hizo ni manipulative, some of them. So how some of this how do you respond to critics who might see them as unethical behavior, the laws?
Actually, this is one of the reasons why I didn't want to publish the book or to write this book na niweke out there. Because one of the criticisms would be that umse ni mse wa church, but anaandika a book
Robert
that has been banned in several other places. Kwa nini anafundisha wase manipulation? So I think the way I have put these laws, they are in no way, shape, or form meant to manipulate anyone. Like, for example, what we have just shared. Sijaona mse yote akiobject akisema by the way this is manipulative.
Yeah.
It is just being a strategic thinker. Game ya power is a game. Na hii ni game inachezwa daily. Even in our country, it's a game. The one who outmaneuvers like our president. Uliona venye ali outmaneuver wase. Regardless of how you think someone got into power. It's games. It's like a chessboard. And when you move your parts, like they say, when you're playing chess is all about playing the person, not playing the game itself.
Yeah.
Like as you're playing the game, you need to know the person. You need to be 10 steps ahead of them. And how do you become 10 steps ahead of them? Watch how they play. Ukiona mse anakuwaga muimpulsive, anapenda kufanya mavitu haraka. Unajua umse afikiriangi mbio. Umse ni ana act kwanza ama ni emotional. Unaget?
Yeah.
When you're dealing with an emotional person, all you have to do to beat them is get them as emotional as you can get them. Like, for example, if I realize that you are an emotional person and I want to deal with you seriously, I will do stuff that will get you overly emotional.
Kwa kona kabisa.
Takuweka kwa kona na utablanda na nita make sure umeblanda. Na si unaona hapo nimekumaliza.
Bye.
Yeah. So it's not about manipulation, it's about knowing people. Na mtu akikwambia that these laws don't apply, like even at that point when they're telling you these laws as they apply, wanatumia hizo laws. Interviews, what are interviews? Why is it that interviews inakuanga mse anakaa huko and then kuna wase wengi wamekaa on this other side? Isn't that power play?
So intimidating.
Isn't that intimidating?
So intimidating.
Why is it that way? Why is it that the boss anakuanga na central seat where everyone looks at them? It's because it's power. Yes. Why is it that the president sits at a strategic position in any function where everyone can see him? It's power. Why is it that the king's throne is the biggest, the shiniest? It's power. Why is it that those guys who are leading have big offices?
Yeah.
Ni ngumu kwenda kupata director na ofisi ndogo.
Clearly.
It's power plays. It's not something we do out of the ordinary.
Yeah.
It is power plays. And you have to know. You have to learn.
Okay.
Kwanza hiyo point ya interview. Umeingia interview, wanakuangalia kila mtu kotoa anaandika.
Ameshaanza kuandika,
Sasa
unashinda
wanaandika
bro.
nini sasa? So unakuwa so intimidated, unashindwa. Wanaandika vitu poa ama like nimedu
Nishachoma. Self-esteem zero.
Like vile nilikuwa na interview, when I was going through my interview, I did 8 interviews.
For this job?
Yes.
8 levels. 8
levels. There was
I'd
speaking,
be tired.
there was writing. Kuna times hadi nilikuwa natumiwa questions that I have to answer in writing. So what they were testing my speaking skills, writing, patience. My interview took 2 months.
8 interviews. Naweza fika 5 niwaambie cheki. Mnataka kunipatia hii job ama mnanizungusha
I
wapi?
was not alerted that niambiwe that itakuwa na levels nani. I was never told. I thought that I was going to do one meeting and I have the job or I don't have the job. Ilikuwa meeting ya kwanza naambiwa we'll get back to you in 2 weeks.
Again.
Meeting ya pili nakam we'll get back to you. Sometimes I'm not even told when. By the time I was being told that you've qualified, nilikuwa
Umekapitia.
kabisa.
Yo.
Remember to don't call us.
Don't call us.
We'll call you.
And
2
actually
weeks
at that
later, they
time,
call you.
at that time I was seriously afraid of my boss. He had won the power play. Alikuwa shani intimidate. The organization was intimidating enough. Yes.
Here you are now.
Yes,
Mr. Director.
Yeah.
Okay.
And still rising.
Hata jua hiyo story, which was the hardest law for you to apply in your own career and why?
The hardest law to apply, let me just go back to the hardest because of the moral aspect of it. Law number 7 iko hapa page 7 number 5,
Oh, number 5.
which
Oh,
is
law
law number
7.
7. Law 7.
Okay.
Get others to do the work for you, but always take the credit. Effective delegation is critical, but how I have applied it need delegation. Like for example, if our team succeeds here in the organization, hii team yangu succeed, who gets the credit?
You.
Yeah. If it fails, who gets the downfall?
You.
Yeah. So it's like the way people blame the president when everything fails.
Everything.
Yes, because he's supposed to be on top of things.
So nika risk too.
Yeah, it's so getting others to do the work for you and you taking the credit sometimes in some ways would look like you are undercutting people.
Yeah.
But once you read it from this book, wachana na
Yeah,
the main book
mwingine,
itself,
yeah.
once you read it from this book, utaona I don't imply anything manipulative.
Kuna law una feel haukuandika hapa.
Yeah, there are many.
Many.
There are many, but for the size of the book, for the reason why I was writing the book, nilichoose kutengeneza hizi 15.
So kutakuwa na level 2.
That's what I want to
Kuna
ask.
level
Actually,
2.
Kuna plans
actually,
za
Apply
follow-up book.
zingine.
The response I've gotten from the book, hiyo kupatiana tu say guys are buying it. The response I've gotten from it has actually told me I'm going to now publish it kabisa na nitoe kabisa tuweke kila kitu
Ufanye launching nini.
Yes, I will actually
That's amazing.
do a second edition of this.
Also, you have plans for a follow-up book?
Yes.
Okay.
On the same where I use more examples. These historical examples are very interesting.
Very.
When you read about it, and again, for you to be powerful people are avid readers. Like love books. There's a lot of knowledge. There's a lot of wisdom hidden in books.
Yeah.
Wanasemanga, if you want to hide anything from an African or a Kenyan or anyone in black skin, hide it in a book.
They'll never find it. They'll not find it.
They'll not find it. That's
Kudharauliwa.
it's a very, very bad thing to say about Africans.
Yeah.
Which is true. Many people don't read. Many people don't read. Nilikuwa nasema one day when our young people in church are getting married, one day nitaandika check na niweke kwa the book of Habakkuk. Kwa Habakkuk ndani huko. Zephania huko ndani. Weke check ina expire in 2 weeks. Alafu waende honeymoon after 2 weeks ukam uambie nisaidie na ile Bible. Watole check ina expire. Ambie you should read.
So, read your Bibles.
Yeah,
Read your Bibles.
Yeah.
Okay, so touch on courting attention at all costs. Na hiyo ni law 6. So I think we can now focus on it completely as a law.
Yeah, court attention at all cost is one of the laws that wase huwa wana abuse sana. Guys think that courting attention means that update us on or update people on everything that you do. Let me tell you, human beings are not interested in you. They might act interested, even if you utengeneze kipindi keeping up with you. Guys don't care. Guys will be naonanga post Instagram umseme nunulia the wife sijui Range Rover. People don't care. That's not how to
throw jabs.
Amekuwa so specific.
Throw jabs.
No, guys don't care.
Yeah.
Guys care about themselves. And that's part of the power laws. Guys love themselves so much. They care about themselves. So courting attention at all costs in a corporate world.
Even though cynical in mean everyone and believe in their own self-interest.
I don't know, but yes.
I think.
And also kuna law kama hiyo.
Oh.
Visibility in the corporate environment is key to advancement. Volunteer for high-profile projects, present at meetings, and ensure your successes are known. This not only brings recognition, but also puts you in a favorite light when opportunities arise. Wase wengi wenye suffer kwa this law ni introverted people. Introverted people sometimes suffer a lot in the corporate setup because ya kukosa kukota attention. They keep to themselves so much, which is very dangerous. And there is actually a law yenye na build on that inasemanga isolation is dangerous. When you do something, your achievements, make your achievements known. not tooting your horn.
Not bragging.
Don't brag or do it in a way that itafanya wase wengine waanze kufeel insecure about themselves. But just get your things known. Let me give you an example. Wakati nilikuwa my former employment. I first got there as an intern. I was given a 6 months internship. I was supposed to do 6 months and then off umeenda. Nilikuwa nimeambiwa. It was made clear to me that hauna job hapa. Uko internship.
Yeah.
And I knew niko internship. But to be very honest, I was not leaving.
You knew it.
I knew I was not leaving. So what I used to do, I had my supervisors wenye nilikuwa na report to. Every time I do something, I would send emails out. I would send to my supervisor and fulfill our righteousness. But I would also send to the big people. They always knew what I was doing. By then, do you know that my contract, nilipatiwa contract later on. Niambiwa continue doing what you're doing. Like they were so clear on what I was doing. They all knew what I'm doing. Venye nilipatiwa job nilikuwa naambiwa continue doing what you're doing. How did I achieve that? I used to write reports. My internship never involved writing reports. People are lazy in the corporate world. A lazy person would never get anywhere in a corporate world. Write reports. Report to your supervisor. Tell him what you're doing. Tell him what you're thinking. Just make sure that he always knows. So when guys are seated in a meeting and they're trying to discuss you, they know your work. There are some people in organizations, even this organization, I sit down and I wonder, what do these people do? Like unaweza kutana na msee kwa kampuni na unashindwa huyu anafanyanga nini? What's your work? Imagine your boss asking you, what do you do? That means uko chini ya maji vibaya sana. And those are the guys who are cut off ikifika ni time ya kulay off. But when you put your things out there, let them see what you're doing in a very subtle and respectful way. Wakiona what you're doing, they would, when utakuwa jina yako ikikama up in a boardroom, guys are fighting for you. Because everyone knows what you're doing. Everyone knows your value. Wakati nilikuwa huko, I remember kwa hiyo employment, there are some guys even who wanted me to go. They so hated me. It was in a church, by the way. They so hated me that they wanted me to go. And I knew I'm not going. So, after 6 months, the HR calls me and ananiambia, hii job ni yako, wewe wachana na wase wengine. And I got the job. And they were so angry. Some of them even thought that I was licking the boss's food. But no.
Yeah.
My work was out there. And it is always out there. Yeah.
So that's it goes hand in hand with your confidence in your work. So,
Yes.
Joezi enda tu unaongea tu na ujui kenye unasema.
Yeah, you seem so confident.
Yes, you must be. By the way, a timid person can't get anywhere. Timidity won't land you anything. You have to be confident. You have to be firm on what you believe in. You have to be, like Paul anasemanga, I know who I have believed in. And I'm persuaded. Like, you must have that persuasion. If you believe in something, you must move with it. There are guys who live wishy-washy lifestyles. Hata ujui anasimama wapi. Mie nakuwaga na stand. Inaweza kuwa wrong. I could be wrong. But it's better to have a stand and be wrong than not have a stand at all. Yeah.
Please talk about peer overconfidence.
Now, the Bible says that we need to look at ourselves moderately. You have to back up your brag. You have to back it up. If you say you are the best, you have to back it up. In fact, your work has to support. Si ati nitokee hapa hivi nianze kusema I am the best. I am the best in our company. Na sina kitu ya kushow. If guys tell me just show what makes you the best, you must be able to back it up. That means that if you say you are the best writer, make sure that your writing is really good. And not good to you. Put it out there. And by the way, cutting attention, like when I was writing this book, you know how many people read it before I even did it in form of a book? So many. Now, Lisa, by the way, what do you think about this? Anaangalia. You have to be really good. for you to kuna watu wengine wanatokeanga they are the king of everything. Yeah, leo nimevaa kofia naanza kujita the king of hearts. Yeah? And I have nothing to back up the fact that I'm saying
What makes you king?
Everyone is a king. You must back it up. When you say you are determined, like for example, story at gym, my going to the gym is discipline. If I go into a room and tell someone I am disciplined, and they ask me, how are you disciplined? Just looking, kuna mse, by the way, tulikuwa naye we were just pulling a conversation. Akaniuliza, which is my greatest trait? Nikamwambia discipline. Akaniambia, I have no doubt. Nikamuuliza why? Akaniambia, the way you look. You can't get muscles without discipline. So I make sure that every day.
Put that on a t-shirt.
Yeah.
Put that on a t-shirt.
I make sure every day, every morning, I'm at the gym. I do that hard work in the background so that when I come and say I am a disciplined person, I can back it up.
Kuna evidence.
Iko evidence.
Kuna evidence kwa karatasi.
Kuna evidence kwa karatasi. Aya, leo kuna swali lingine.
Na swali lingine sahihi.
Moving on to the next law. Ama acha turuke twende law 11.
11 iko page.
Law 11 72. Juu ninaona the next law yenye inafuata ni get others to do the work for you.
Oh, what we've talked about.
We discussed that earlier.
Ama actually, venye umesema before you even published it, ulikuwa ushapea wase. Umepata any feedback from those readers?
Yeah, nimepata both negative na positive feedback. And I appreciate that so much.
Yeah.
I'm not that guy who likes to hear positive because it makes you lazy.
True.
Ukiwa unasifiwa sana pia, you tend to mess up a lot. It's also good kuwa na wase wenye wanasema a contradicting opinion. Nimeambiwa, and that is why I didn't want to publish it. How would you write such a book? Or why would you write such a book?
Someone asked you that?
Yes. But you see, I just get your background here, me writing it. I have spoken about these things so much that I decided that sai mse akikuja kwa ofisi na niambia I'm going through challenges in my workplace, which a lot of people have done. Nampatia hii book.
Shika book.
I don't want to keep repeating them. Again, your repetition inaleta redundancy mob. So that's why
Okay. It's also a legacy. It's a good way. Tukisoma history tulikuwa tunaambiwa books and magazines, written form of whatever is good for storage. So it's a legacy.
Yeah.
So law 11.
Learn to keep the people dependent on you. Yes.
Tricky.
Funny bit, ukisoma hii book unaweza ichukia.
Yeah.
Unaweza ichukia, unaweza sema manze kuna manipulation mingi hapa, but
it's a bit toxic, you know. But it's not. It's really not.
Again, he goes na ile saying you never judge a book
by its cover.
Never judge a book by its cover. Just read it, and then someone who says that I'm using manipulation has not read the book. That's how I know someone has not read the book. Atasema tu unatumia manipulation, because if you actually read how I've explained the laws, there is nothing manipulative. It is just whatever happens. Develop a unique skill set or knowledge base that others rely on. This could be technical expertise, strategic insights, or critical connections. When people depend on you, your position becomes more secure and influential. This means be the best at what you do. Like, be the best at what you do. If you are the best at what you do, guys will come to you. It will be difficult to replace. Don't be an easy person to replace. Even in a relationship. Anywhere in your life, do not be easy to replace. Ukikuwa easy to replace, you'll be replaced seriously. And the world is brutal. Hii dunia ni ruthless. Especially kwa watu who don't step up. People are fighting for equality. Equality this. There is no equality. There's the real world and there's an ideal world. An ideal world is the world as you would like it to be.
Fantasy.
Fantasy. The real world is be there. Be the best at what you do. that creates dependence. There's a guy who sitaki kusema ni organization whether it is current or former, but there's a guy who we wanted to get rid of kabisa. Nakumbuka there's some conversation somewhere of getting rid of this guy, but this guy is good at what they did. That has that alone, nothing else. No charisma, no nothing. The boss hates the guy, but huyo msee ako kwa organization kwa sababu ya what they do.
No one else can
no
do
one
it.
can do that. Be that guy who can do it so well. Naonanga wase wakiwa so slothful, huwa inaniudhi sana. If you are a cleaner, kama ni msee wa kuclean, be the best cleaner.
True.
Clean mpaka msee akikuja hapo anashindwa, who clean this? Kuna watu hufanya tu job ndio waifanye. Bare minimum work deserves bare minimum pay. Unafanya bare minimum, lipwa bare minimum. Kwa nini unafanya bare minimum na unataka domo? But if you do, and money follows value.
True.
Even power follows value. Like you see the people who are powerful, other than wale kings wenye walikuwa na a monarch, wenye walikuwa na inherit just because of being the son of the king. They have value. They have something they offer to the table. They bring on the table. Yeah.
So kazi bora, si bora kazi.
Kazi bora.
This means I think when AI first taking such a wave in the world, I think wasi walikuwa wameanza kusema a lot of people are going to lose jobs because of such things, and kazi kama za graphics and all of that, but kuna wasi wamejua kumaster kutumia hiyo AI. So also you need to be up to date with the trends that are in your current job, in line with your job. Ndio hata kama AI, something like AI kikuja, umimaster, and you know how to use it such a way that you will still be relevant hata kama AI iko.
Actually, I'm a victim of AI.
Yeah,
That's why
you mentioned something about AI.
I am a serious victim of AI. I am a top-rated freelancer on Upwork.
Oh yeah.
Top-rated, by the way, that's another hat.
Tutakuja na Silas the online
freelancer.
worker.
Yes. I've worked online in Upwork, nikakuwa top-rated. Niko nafanya transcription. Transcription is turning speech to text. I was removed from the market by AI because guys now there are softwares where you just input your audio inakutolea transcript.
Kila kitu.
So I decided I cannot compete with AI. It's where the world is right now. I decided to be a friend of AI. So nilienda nikastudy, niko na small certificate ya Google Essentials, AI Essentials. I've started making AI my friend rather than my rival.
Yeah.
Because I can't fight it.
Yeah.
It's a behemoth. Umesikia hiyo jina?
Huishia sasa. Uandike kitabu na bado tulete kizungu ngumu.
Behemoth.
That's nice.
I had a question. Trisano unaweza endelea ni kitabu.
Mimi nitaenda kwa law 13. Tunaweza okay. Umepata?
If you were to mentor someone new to the corporate world, which law would you advise them to focus on first?
If I was to mentor someone in the corporate world, the law that I would tell them to focus first, let me mention two.
All right.
Never outshine your master, and always say less than necessary. Because that's where the most blunders are committed. There is a king in England that alinyongwa because ya kuongea sana. Like he stood. There was also a guy who was doing venye unavai for a seat, a political seat. I think it is England, izo enzi. He was vying for a political seat. So umse alikuwa mependwa before he spoke. Like the guys there are those guys who have a certain aura in our surrounding.
Yeah.
Like umse anapendeka until he started speaking. Manzi alikuwa naongea, speeches zake zilikuwa long. Watu walianza tu kuchoka na the first speech, and that's how he lost. He lost from his talking, trashing opponents. You know, when you're competing with someone, don't trash your opponents.
Yeah.
You give them a lot of publicity.
Wow.
Have your attention is your greatest currency. Use it wisely. Giving attention is like giving money. So be careful about where you put your money. So there are some people who are not worth the trouble hata kujibu. Kuna msee akikuongelesha ama akitake attention on you, usimjibu. Kumjibu ni kumpropel. So those two is what I would tell someone to pay careful attention towards.
Okay.
I love how you know your stuff. Kila kitu iko na example. A relevant example.
Reader. Avid reader.
I have many hats.
Akona reader hadi anaandika book. Like he has so much knowledge.
Because hata hii book, kila kitu iko na application, iko na example, iko na everything.
Historical background,
example.
you know?
History is important. There are two ways of learning something. You can study, you can learn through your experience, which is very costly, or you can learn from other people's experiences. Like you and Nicola Fouquet is a good experience. Napenda hiyo jina.
Fouquet. Okay, law 13 inasema when asking for help, appeal to people's self-interest, never to their mercy or gratitude.
People are selfish.
Very.
People, and I'm saying this even in church, especially in church. People are selfish. People think about their own interest. Mimi nikikam kukuselia something, the first question that is on your mind, even before saying it, what is in it for me? If you go to pitch, hata kwa an interview setup, it's the interviewers are asking themselves, what value do you bring to us? Not to yourself, to us.
What are you bringing to the table?
I have a very good example that I like. There are these three armies. One is called the Corinthians. Wengine walikuwa wanaitwa Syrians, wengine wanaitwa Athenians. I might confuse them, but the story is the important thing. So, the Corinthians na the Syrians walikuwa in conflict, walikuwa wanataka kufight. So the Athenians walikuwa neutral. So Corinthians wakaendea kwa Athenians, wakawaambia help us fight the Syrians. Why? Because unakumbuka pia nyinyi mlikuwa na shida na tukawasaidia. The Syrians wakakuta the Athenians. Same msee wenye anakatiwa wakawakuta wakamwambia help us fight the Corinthians. Out of every 5 things or 5 boats or 5 weapons we get, 1 is yours. So the Corinthians, as a Christian, what would you do? So hii kampuni ikaona this, wakaona that we will side with the people where we benefit. People always do things when they have something they are gaining from it. Usidanganywe that there are people who are selfless. It's only Christ who was selfless. People have their own interest. So when you're coming to ask for help in a corporate setup, appeal to people's interest. Like mimi naweza kuambia, nataka unifanyie favor, unisaidie kuandika hii book. Out of every book I sell, you'll get 100 bob. Do you know you will andika the book?
Utaandika.
Yes. So guys love themselves. Guys appeal to their own interest. So when you're asking for help, don't think that anyone will help you or will be grateful to you. In fact, to expect people. Mimi nasikianga wase mtu anaachwa na dem anasema after all I have done for her. Anaweza niacha. Utawachwa brother. Utawachwa.
Na tena.
You can give the whole world. Na utawachwa. People don't live when their interests are taken care of. They stick. Even in toxic relationships. As long as their interests are being taken care of. And nobody will ever tell you that maybe my interests are not being taken care. Because if they are not, you would leave. Yes.
Remember kuna proposal fulani uliandika na tukisoma. Kuna venye ulikuwa inakanganika unakatia huyu msee. Unamwambia cheki, ukikubali kitu hata una benefit. So
Yes.
ikubali tu ndio hivyo ndio itawaka.
Yes, so appeal to people's interest. Find out before you go to any negotiation. Find out how them helping you would benefit them. That's what you sell. That's how to sell. That's how to close deals. Huwa nakuanga na saying ya kujisifu kidogo. Just put me in the room with the guy. I'll convince them. Mimi samanga hivyo. So when I get into a room with anyone, na ni negotiation, their interest. Mi ukuwa ni kama naenda kumpichia venye atagrow kuliko venye mi nitagrow, but me I know akigrow na grow.
Yeah.
So yeah, do that even in a corporate setup. Let me just read you an example which is very interesting. Kwa hiyo when asking for, imagine a scenario kwa observance of the law. Imagine a scenario where Mugalo, a marketing manager, needs support from the IT department to implement a new CRM system that will benefit his team. Instead of simply asking for help and expecting them to assist out of a sense of duty or collegiality, Mugalo approaches the head of IT, Mwangi, with a different strategy. This is a strategy. Mugalo presents his request by highlighting how the new CRM system will not only streamline marketing process, but also reduce the number of IT tickets related to data management, freeing up the IT team to focus on more strategic projects. Na kama nakwambia, if you take this, manze utakuwa free. Utakuwa na kazi mob kwa organization. Who does not want to sit behind a desk and do nothing and get paid at the end of the month? So, uboy atashinda. But kwenda kuambia mtu nisaidie because naona, please help me, I'm swamped up. Nobody will want to help you. They won't.
Selfish interest. Law 15.
Law number 15. Crush your enemy totally.
Crushing your enemy. This law sounds so intense.
Crush.
Wakati nilikuwa nimefika hapa nilijiuliza, is this the place to stop?
I think that's it.
Is it the place to stop? Because
Explain it.
Bible inatufunza anaye for anaye si poa. Tunaambiwa if someone wants you to go 1 mile, go with them 2. Tunaambiwa revenge is of the Lord. Alafu kuna umse hapa hivi na ni believer anasema crush your enemy totally. So by crushing, ukisoma now until you read that law, you wouldn't understand what I'm saying. Crush your enemy totally means in a competitive corporate environment, ensure that your competitors are completely neutralized. This could mean outperforming them, number 1, discrediting their ideas, number 2, or ensuring your projects succeed when theirs fail, leaving no room for retaliation. Safeguard your position. I'm not saying you go sabotaging people.
That's so selfish.
Yeah, don't sabotage anyone. But I'm saying, let me give you an example. I don't know if I'm allowed to mention, but there is this company.
Person X.
There is this,
Let's call him Cloud.
Yes, Twitter hii company inaitwa Cloud. So Cloud inataka iko na competitor anaitwa Salt. And Salt is a formidable enemy. So Cloud wanted to do away with Salt. They wanted to crush them. So Salt huwa wana manufacture products. And they wakaenda wakawa investigate wakapata Salt huwa wana manufacture products, but they don't own the manufacturing farm or the processing farm. So what they did, wakaenda kwa the processing farm, wakaibuy. Wakabuy the processing farm. Wewe una produce tuseme hizi vikombe na place unaziproducia si pako. Na mimi ni competitor wako juu pia mimi natengeneza vikombe. So what I do, nikabuy your producer or that farm, that factory yenye unatumia kuprocess. Alafu nikakukujia, nikakwambia now you have 2 options. Tukununue ama tukutoe kwa business. Because hautatengeneza vikombe ni yetu. Ni yetu. Kukumaliza ni we will increase the cost of production, which will kill you. So what they ended up doing, they ended up acquiring. Nitangua hostile takeover, if I'm not wrong kwa story. You acquire someone in order to neutralize them. And that is crushing your enemy totally. Unaona, by the time they did this inamaanisha hakuna competitor, you become a monopoly. So that's a strategy in business. Of kuliko unaenda ninaonanga advertisement zingine mtu ana kama ni advertisement ya hii company B anatoa tu logo anaacha kala zao alafu anaanza kuwa trash. That rarely works. In fact, people know who you're fighting and get to love them even more.
I've actually seen some adverts like that. It's a
So
telecom companies. One is green, one is red.
That's
So
a
when
boni.
they're trashing the other company, they'll use their colors, and you definitely know. But discrediting someone's ideas, do you do that upfront? Ama unakuja na mbecheke idea yako si fiti? Ama
You can
unamwambia I have a better idea than yours? How do you discredit someone's idea without sounding mean or without kufanya ikanika una brag?
by coming up with something better. It must be better than theirs. That means you must study your competitor properly. Like I've said, the game of power is a game of being interested in people. Like you must know your competitor vizuri. You must know their strengths. You must know everything about them. Like sit down one day and say, I'm going to study this competitor of mine. Na nitamjua. Akiblink, I'll know. Akikunywa chai, najua hata flavor yake ya chai. Najua vijiko ngapi za sukari anapenda. When you know them well, you can come up with something better. That means that you need to do extra work. This is what I do in the gym. Nikienda gym, sikuna wase huwa wana train. I usually look for the most muscular na the strongest guy. Nasema huyu ndio test subject yangu, lazima nibebe kumshinda. So that is the guy I'm aiming at. That's the guy I outperform. So ukikuwa na a better product, which you must make sure that your product is better, umeshinda. Yeah.
And I think it's good to mention, ndio usifeel ni kama your law is a bit nini, chukua by the book and then you'll see that there's exemptions to the law, because hapa naona maintaining ethical standards. We're not going to go through all of them, but kuna exemptions because it can be a bit harsh. That particular law can be a bit harsh, but you gotta do what you gotta do.
It's the real world.
It's the real
The
world.
world is harsh and brutal.
Yeah.
It's a game of kill or get killed.
Who wants to get killed?
Yeah.
Law 18. Larry, tuko sambamba?
Tuko sawa. Uliza to talk about 18 alafu niulize kitu moja hapa.
Okay.
Law number 18, do not build fortress to protect yourself. Isolation is dangerous.
Yeah.
Isolation is dangerous. Law, introverted people, hear me out.
This
In
is
the
for
corporate
you.
world, jaribu kutokuwa introverted sana. Jaribu kutoji-isolate. It is very dangerous. Networking is essential. Now, in the book, networking is essential in the corporate world. Build relationships across departments and levels to create a support system. Isolation can lead to being out of the loop, missing critical opportunities or information. Where I was working previously, I am a friend of almost everyone, even in the kitchen. We just go to the kitchen sometimes. I'm not saying that we be idle. We go to the kitchen sometimes and just talk to the cook. Yani wacha tu tusikie huku kakona story gani. You see? Law 18, do not build fortress to protect yourself. Isolation is dangerous. Nilikuwa nasema, introverted people, when you want to work in a corporate and you want to rise the ranks, there are guys who are very comfortable at where they are. So they have no ambition, which again is anti-human being.
Yeah.
Because we are ambitious beings. We want to climb the corporate ladder. Na tunataka climb vizuri. Inasema networking is essential in corporate world. Build relationships. I was talking about a kitchen, talking with everyone. Unaenda unaongea na wase. Get yourself known. Ina link na ile court attention.
Yes.
Yeah. Don't isolate yourself. Don't tell yourself that I'm in this, wacha tu ni mind my business. When you're in a corporate world and you are many people, minding your business is very dangerous. Just make sure that you are not everywhere per se. I'm not saying you do it in a bad way. There is a wrong way to do it. The right way to do it is that have friends.
Yeah.
The guys who will help you. I have gotten jobs based on just my talking to anyone. You don't know who is listening.
Yeah.
Unaweza kuwa kwa an organization, upatane na mse, talk to everyone. Don't keep quiet. You can be able to network. I've done business deals in a very funny way. Like unakutana na mse, unaanza kumwambia venye huwa natengeneza hizi vitu, huwa natengeneza meza. Kumbe mse alikuwa anataka mtu akumtengenezea meza, anakupatia hiyo job. So don't isolate yourself and tell yourself that ni life yangu, so hakuna mtu ataniambia kitu. Yeah, that's what the law says.
I think there's a very famous line or quote a lot of people in corporate use, that your network is your net worth.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
So network.
Exactly.
Wacha kukua introvert kidogo, sahau tu, for you to grow. That's what I'm getting.
Yeah.
Important. Nakwambia by the time namaliza hapa.
Hata mimi niko na example. Kuna place I installed CCTVs. There's a place I was installing CCTVs last week in Roiro. Then now it's a farm.
In where?
In Roiro. It's a farm. Sasa huyu client nimeweka afu akaanza kusema na hapa tunahitaji mbwa. Nikamwambia madam, nauza na train mbwa.
I got you.
Nauza na
I know
train mbwa.
I know a guy.
I am the guy.
I am the guy. I know a guy.
I sell and I train. Part-time vet pia.
Yawe kwenda.
Overall fine. Yeah, so.
And alikupatia hiyo job?
Yeah,
ulimuzia?
No, nataka kumsupply 2 dogs zenye zitagad.
Hata saizi umejiongea watu wakitaka listeners wakisikiza watake mbwa. You are the guy.
CCTVs.
So usiji-isolate. The key ni usiji-isolate. Usiseme kuna wase ufikiria that as long as nimepata hiyo job mi naweza nyamaza na everything will be okay. That's the easiest way to die in the corporate world. You get forgotten. Ushaiona kuna wase wame workplace, they don't even appear as a footnote. Boss, wacha watu wakiandika vitabu, jina yako iko your main character. You're almost a main character.
It's happening.
Yes, usikue extras.
Law 21, play a sucker to catch a sucker. Simdamadhanio.
Now, this one I'll say
Send a thief to catch a thief.
This one is a bit ndio nakwambia hizi ni zile zilikuwa zinanishtua kidogo.
Ndio maana kuna mtu alikuuliza ni aje uliandika hiki kitabu.
Hizi za seem dumber than your mark. Let me read. Sometimes underestimating your own abilities can lead to others lowering their defenses. By appearing less knowledgeable or competent, you can gather more information and insight from others, giving you a strategic advantage. Ushaiona msee kwa organization, they know it all. Like they know everything about everything.
Kimenyi.
Guys hate them. Guys don't like to talk to them. Have you ever pulled a conversation with anyone and they're so brilliant that you don't even want to talk to them? Sometimes, especially in the corporate world, just seem dumb even if you're smart. You get to learn a lot about people. You get to learn a lot to have an advantage. I like to pull this move in conversation. Sometimes I can sit down with someone and just keep quiet and let them talk and talk and talk endlessly. And as they speak, as they talk, you just pick out. Just pick out what they're saying. You just listen to them. Sometimes you could have a solution to a problem, but unaenda unauliza for advice. What do you think? When you ask someone, what do you think? I think stuff huko anajua. I like asking also that. What do you think? And nikiuliza hiyo swali, I want to learn from what people say. You can pick out. You can refine your ideas from what other people give. So don't be the one who talks too much. There are instances where you talk, like for example, kama sahi nimewa out talk. There are instances where you speak too much, but you speak a lot, but on many occasions, especially if you are going to do business, kama unataka kusign deals, you want to learn about the other person, you want to know the guy. That's why kulikuwa na hiyo saying church that ukienda lunch na Silas utafunguka. And I managed to do that. There are people who walikuwa nasema among the youth, mimi nikienda lunch na Silas mimi sitaongea. Na tunaenda lunch, tunakaa tu hapo hivyo chini. Me, I'm never uncomfortable with silence, awkward silence. Mimi tuweza kaa na wewe na tuongee. Na si ati umeniboa ama nimeboeka. It's just that when you keep quiet, people feel in. Wase upenda kufeel your silence. So tunaenda tunakaa chini, and I tell them to talk about their most favorite topic themselves. Tunaanza na mse, kwanza ulizaliwa wapi? How are you growing up? Nini kitu kama hiyo. By the time mnafika the 5th question, jamaa anafunguka. Story atakupatia and you'll get to know a lot about them. Yeah.
Your example umepeana. I have a question to that. How does one strike a balance between being excellent and seeming too perfect?
You've actually preempted the last law. Kuna law ya perfection na appearing too
Larry may
perfect.
tap into.
It's a very important thing. Hautaki ku spark insecurity. Yeah? Imagine you're in a relationship with someone who is perfect. Haoneshangi flaws. Hana any flaws. Like if you're asked to point out any flaw in them, you can't. There is something wrong about that person.
Seems
Or you, who does not seem to see those flaws. So don't appear too perfect. Yeah. Sometimes it's good to appear dumb. Because when you appear dumb, you get other people to fill in the void and bring that wisdom.
Page 121, below 24.
Play the perfect courtier. It's also an interesting law. Playing the perfect courtier ni kukua tu jamaa anaweza navigate vizuri kwa the corporate world. Like the way you move. Let me read. Master the art of diplomacy. Being a perfect courtier. A courtier was someone in the king's court. That's why they're called a courtier. Walikuwa wale wase wenye wanaambianga king. Kenya utaona. I don't know if you've watched Game of Thrones. Kama umewatch Game of Thrones.
No.
I am among the 1%.
Say, me and you both.
So
You've not watched.
1.3%.
Yeah, me and you both.
I don't think
I
don't think basi nyinyi mko interested in power. Nyinyi endeleeni tu kuwa followers. Endeleeni kuwa followers.
Tutanunua book. Hatuna cut to
Stress,
stress.
man.
We're just but human beings.
I have watched it 5 times.
How?
Bila kuchoka. Like I watch it
Can't
5 times.
Can't get
Bila
past
kuchoka.
episode 1.
Because na another series that is again kuwa na power plays mingi, Suits.
That one I've watched.
Suits is also
that
it's
one
also
I've watched.
good.
That one is okay.
Stories
Law.
za power.
Yeah. That
Kuna
one is
ingine
okay.
ya House of Cards.
On
Serious
Netflix,
politics. Yeah? So play the perfect courtier means inasema master the art of diplomacy, flattery and social etiquette. Understand the unspoken rules of the corporate culture and navigate them skillfully. Underline the word skillfully. This can help you gain favor with influential figures and advance your position. Master, I'm not saying that you play both sides. Ukikuwa manipulator, it's like kuchukua kamba na kuanza kuitae. At one point, itashikana na utashindwa kuitoa. Just know diplomacy. Whenever there is a problem, kwa ule mse mwenye ni priest bringer, vitu kama hizo. That's how to play the perfect courtier. Be the ears of the king. Not that unaenda kuripotia kwa king. Like for example,
Not
with my boss.
snitch.
My boss is not around, but we talk with him a lot. And kuna sometimes tuna interact on so many things that kuna sometimes ananipatia idea, but it's a for lack of a better way to put it, ni idea ya kifala, but naisikiza and I know how to weave it. Unajua kuiweave in such a way that would not show him manze hii idea yako ni ujinga. But akiangalia ushai contradict mse bila kumcontradict. I used to do this wakati nilikuwa na lead Bible study. Unaweza kaa hivi mse ametoa point na ako enthusiastic about hii point. Na ameamini hiyo point. Na ukisikiza hii point hakuna kitu mse amesema. So what you do, playing the perfect courtier ni building up from what so and so has said. Amesema something opposite. Unataka kumcorrect na utaki kumuonesha unamcorrect. Building up from what Traciana said, mi naona hivi na hivi, and you end up saying the opposite.
Different.
You have saved your relationship with Tracian, na yeye hata atajua.
Ayuko huko.
There are sometimes mtu ataenda ndio akumbuke akireplay hiyo scenario na najua by the way msee alisema tu kitu opposite na alidanganya venye niko na. Another skill ni watu wanaambiaga msee like good point. That's an excellent point. That's
Wonderful
an excellent
idea.
question. When you know that question is dumb. That's a good question.
Then we have seen in so many political interviews.
Yes, it's playing the perfect courtier. It's the art of diplomacy. Yeah. You don't want to offend. Your words can offend people. You don't want to offend people. The worst you can do is offend your superiors. Tuko karibu kumaliza.
Tuko karibu kumaliza.
Nice.
Law 27 and 31.
Law 27. Play on people's need to believe. Play on people's need to believe to create a cult-like following. People believe in something.
Yeah.
People believe in something. You must cultivate that. You must use that to your advantage. For example, inasema, inspire loyalty and a sense of purpose among your team and colleagues. Create a vision or mission that they can rally around, making them more committed and enthusiastic about their work and your leadership. Like, make people love their jobs. Make people love their jobs. Kuna mabosses wenye no intimidating tu. Ndio ulisikia hii kitu inaitwa Monday blues. Why do you think guys came up with that? Monday is the worst day of the week. Guys who are home, they like to be home. For me, kila siku ni Monday. Kila siku ni Sunday. Kila siku ni weekend.
Your week is
whether it's work day or not. Because when you and this word play nilitumia very loosely. Play on people's need to believe. What do people believe? What drives people? Find out what drives them. What drives you? I usually ask in interviews, I like asking 2 questions. 1, tell us about yourself. Where do you see yourself in 5 years? Where do you see yourself in 5 years is a question that would show you what people believe in. Kuna msee mwenye anakuja job to run away from poverty. Kuna msee anakuja job for various reasons. Learn what their reason is. Play on it. Build them up. Make them love that job. There is nothing wrong with being ambitious. Hakuna kitu wrong na kuwa ambitious. So let people play on that, on their need. Na ukisoma hizo, kama unaona Steve Jobs, nimepatiana example ya Steve Jobs and Apple. I'll not explain it. Kuna the Johnson tragedy. The Johnson strategy ni kampuni yenye ilitengeneza COVID vaccines. Johnson and Johnson. Yes, they had done something, but ukisoma utaiona. Yes. You mean niko hivyo clear hadi hauna swali?
Where?
Ama unaona mistakes zote umemake?
Before to the next law, which is the most unexpected feedback we may get from readers?
The most unexpected is where did you learn all these things? Yeah. And first page nimeandika from the 48 laws of power. But I have also watched a lot about 48 laws of power. There's a guy in YouTube anaitwa Shayan Wahidi. He's an Indian. He's done a marvelous job in explaining the laws of power. So I actually listened to him, and then that's why I decided to also take, because you see, these laws are not mine. They're not originally from me. That's why I've given credit to Robert Greene. They are his laws. But what I've done in this book is use his laws and try to make them into our corporate setup. Yeah.
At this, easy laws na apply in universal, kama place, kama Korea, any universal in every region. Ama kuna places. Well, ukijaribu hiyo.
That's a good question.
You just said mtakisema that's a good question.
Alko about kudivert kila kitu.
No, as long as there is human beings, these laws apply. Okay. Chukua 5 or 10 people, throw them in a jungle, leave them alone. One will be a leader, others will be followers. nature abhors a vacuum. There is no time guys don't have a leader. That's why Gen Zs wakisema tribeless, leaderless.
We are leaderless.
No. Hiyo mejishoot vinoma. Mini millennial. Eh?
Yeah.
But usiseme you cannot have anything without, there is no animal in this world without a head.
True.
There is no group in this world that can function without a leader. You must have a leader. So, yeah.
Okay. Hiyo ni ukweli. Hata sasa in my environment, sasa hata mimi nikitrain kama dogi zako. Au wawili, Luna na kuna Zara, Luna na Ace. Luna na Ace lazima wafuate Zara. Like Zara akisema akikaa hata niwalazimishe kwenda. Kama Zara hajaenda, so washajieka tu ndo leader wetu.
So we are not leaderless?
Yeah. And also ukiangalia like the word alpha male, kwani ilitoka wapi? It's from the wolves. Hizo wolves ukiziangalia, when you put them together, one will be the leader. Now the alpha male gets all the girls. The alpha male tells the pack where to go.
True.
So there is no organization that doesn't have a head. That's ndio unaona hizo protests zilianguka nayo. Na some other people capitalized on it now waka benefit. So
very much.
Usiwahi kuwa tribeless na leader. No, leaderless. Wachana tribeless. Usiwahi kuwa leaderless, haiwezekani.
Law 28, enter action with boldness.
I love this. Law 28, enter action with boldness. Confidence and decisiveness are highly valued in the corporate world. Bold actions demonstrate leadership qualities and can help you stand out. Even if there is a risk involved, calculated boldness can lead to significant reward and recognition. Fear is actually failure guaranteed. Sikia hiyo wisdom. Sikia hiyo kitu wewe.
Hebu sema tena.
Fear is failure guaranteed. Never fear. In fact, the higher the risk, the higher the reward. If it is not risky, everyone is there. Ukipatia 5 people 100,000 each, waambie waende wafungue business. Do you know what businesses you'll see? You'll see a salon,
car wash.
You'll see a car wash. You'll see what else will you see? Shopkeeper. Utaona duka ya manguo. Utaona butchery. Everyone wants to do what is easy. But unakuta in places kuna duka za nguo 5 zimefuatana. You know those guys wanashare tu hizo do. Whereas you can have a business that is risky, you take that risk and you enter that action with boldness. Ukichomeka you learn. This is what I tell myself. I'll do it. Nikichomeka I learn. I come out wiser. I'll not go back there. Like I've lost money, serious money kwa mabiashara. Nimeenda vitu zingine nikaekelea zenye ziko. Nimeekelea mahewa. Nimechoma bet.
Ulichoma bet.
But unakuta when it materializes and it's risky, the reward is super. The reward is super. So entering action with boldness inasema bold actions demonstrate leadership qualities. There's some things you do just out of just being bold. It materializes and it makes people look at you as a leader. Yeah, rather than ule mse mwenye anaogopa. Usiogope. Once you've set your mind to do something, do it. Criticism, use them as fuel. Nimecriticiziwa.
Watesi.
Niko na watesi. Unajua Bible inasema anaandaa meza mbele ya watesi. When God says he prepares a table before your enemies, in the presence of your enemies, it means that you'll have the enemies. They will be there. The table is not sweet when enemies are not there. Kwani nani ataona ukikula hiyo
na big spoon?
Don't fear criticism.
Let
People will criticize. Yeah? You come whatever you do, lazima kutakuwa na negative.
Okay.
Just use them as fuel. Ichukue zinauma, sisemi ati ya yumangi, zinaumanga. But use them as fuel.
I think sasa nakumbuka Larry amekuuliza kuhusu the comments that you've gotten from your readers, the readers of this particular book. Kuna comments umesema kunazo zenye zimekuja negative. Zimekuuma. Zimekupropel kuandika kitabu ingine.
Bidhaa zimeniuma. Mi kwanza mtu
zimekupropel ku-explain. Ku-explainia. Zimekupropel ku-explainia.
That's one mistake I used to do in the past. Nilikuwa msee akini-criticize. Nasikia niende ni mwambie si hivi and the more you explain yourself, the more guilty you.
So punguza kuji-explain.
Punguza kuji-explain kabisa.
That's true though.
What you do, take it and learn. Kuna time nilikuwa nafanya, you see the videos I post za gym. Kuna msee tu alitokea tu huko. You see, Mondays mi ufanyanga leg day. Mondays ni leg day. Mjamaa tu na ki-account hata akina picha yake nini. Akaekelea tu hapo kaniambia, we by the way bana, fanyanga tizi za mguu.
No.
Yes. That comment ilini hurt. Nisikia uchungu. Enyewe na imagine. Sa hiyo na squatting na 80. Like, what is telling me mguu zako bado?
Bado. Ameziangalia kajua.
I ended up responding, but sikupenda venye nirespond. Jumi nilimwambia, tuma picha yako. I don't take advice from people who are not where I want to go. I didn't like that because ilionesha he got under my skin. To you, yeah. I should have ignored. That's one mistake I did. So, usiji explain. The more you explain yourself.
Tumaitri na Silas kaniambia aya training na mseni akitrain na train peke yake kaniuma kaniambia usikam gym nikitrain. Sasa siku moja nikaenda akitrain, kumbe mse anatumia weights zote kwa gym.
Ndio maana hataki mse
hapo. Si hataki company cause ametumia weights zote na yenyewe siwezi inua Kenya anainua.
Unaona?
Jamani unatoa anaongeza.
It's intimidating.
Unaniambia tichukue hizo 1.5.
And that's why unaona hata niliacha kuenda kwa commercial gyms. Like ilifika mahali ikasema tu I need to have my own gym because nilikuwa naenda huko ushaichukua weights wase wanakaa chini wanaanza kuangalia sasa. Inakuwa like you are attracting a lot of attention. So that's why napenda
niliget after nilikaa hapo nikakaa tu kwa kiti na ngoja tu amalize.
But ni vizuri vitu kukuma. Let me tell you, we are human beings and we have emotions. Ni vizuri kuumwa. What you do after umeumwa ndio determines. Like unaona huyo msee wa mguu angeniambia hivyo sasa ati sasa kila siku nachukua mguu naanza kuipiga picha ni show watu by the mguu iko. You see, I'm trying to
but then afanyanga leg day.
Hadi nianze kumwambia clearly by the time ananiambia we train mguu ajapitia video zangu.
True.
Because every Monday ni leg day.
There's that one video.
Yes.
Kuna kwanga na constructive criticism.
Iliniuma nasikia hadi saa hii inaniumanga sijai.
Alafu ulikuwa mpeti.
Nilikuwa mpeti sana. I repent. By this time ilikuwa mpeti hivyo. When criticize me sasa kujibu.
Afadhali huyo mwenye hakuwa na picha. Kuna watu I've seen this happening on X. You've posted your photo and then someone has a very mean comment. They take your photo and they alafu anakuambia you are one to talk. Look in the mirror. Look in the mirror. That is actually pettiness.
The guys who speak a lot about you are guys who don't know you.
True.
People who know you well don't have the time. Like for example, if someone comes to tell me something about my brother, namjua vizuri. Unaget? Hebu imagine tukae hapo chini na akwe a test subject. Takusikiza tu. But people who don't know you. Mimi nimesemekana vitu mob. Mpaka hata wacha tuseme. Nasikia vibaya.
Hata ni venye tu umesema mse anaongelea hii book vibaya ni mse hajaisoma.
Hajaisoma yeah.
So control law 31 control the options.
Wow, nimeona hii nyelikume
get others to play with the cards you deal.
Yeah, control the options, get others to play with the cards you deal. Shape situations in such a way that others are left with choices that are advantageous to you. By presenting limited and favorable options, you maintain control over outcomes and steer events into your desired direction. Let me give you, this is a very interesting one. And sometimes I use it. you can go and ask someone. Let's say you've taken someone out. Na mnataka ku decide hauna do ya tuseme you want them to decide on a drink, a beverage, what and sit a drink, a beverage. You tell them, if I tell you, what will you take? You have unlimited options.
Yeah.
Eh? That's how ukipeleka mtu on a date, that's how pesa yako inakuliwa vizuri.
Yote.
So this is how I would shape it. Between Coke and Pepsi, utakunywa? Do you know that you'll choose one?
That's limit.
Utadu?
That's
You'll choose
limiting.
one out of the two.
That's limiting. Okay.
You'll choose one out of the
Control
two.
the options.
Control the options. Ukichukua Coke,
That's
I
your
have
choice.
the money for it. Ukichukua Pepsi,
Iko kwa budget.
I have the iko kwa budget. So you get others to play with your options. When unapatiana options.
Game ni
So
yako.
unajua hawa sio naona
kadi.
waki exchange
Uko- yani
notes.
uko kadi.
Uko kadi.
Wanajua ninatumia. You get others to play with those
Mnarelate.
options. Wanarelate
Wanarelate.
kabisa. Wanarelate kabisa. Control the options. The outcome doesn't matter. And that's what many people do. Like unakuta mtu anafanya, this happens a lot in products. Unakuta this company makes this tissue paper for the rich apparently, and then they create another tissue paper with a different name, but same company, zinatengenezwa factory the same. Let me give you an example. By the way, do you know shoes? The fake and the original are made in one factory. The same factory that makes the original ones make the fake ones, whatever we call fake, the cheaper ones. So whether you buy or not, wale wa viatu za 2,000
Chonjo.
do kwa kampuni, wale wa 20k same. That's why if I see people posting kicks and all these things na kusema venye my shoes are nice,
Mauriji.
there are kuna copies zenye zimetoka the same company,
True.
same company,
Kama
same person.
Toyota na Lexus.
Yes.
Wenye
Lexus ni ya watu wameomoka, Toyota ni
Same company.
ni watu wana but unafikiria zina compete. So that is controlling the options.
Okay. Law 46, never appear too perfect. Yenye alikuwa-
Perfection can breed envy and resentment. Show humility and occasionally reveal minor flaws to appear more relatable and human. This helps to foster better relationships and reduces the likelihood of others feeling threatened by your success. You must show that you're human. You must show that you're human. It is okay to lose your temper at some point. It is okay to fail on these laws. It is okay it's okay to fall. But if you show people that you're always perfect, you never get it wrong, utashanga. What it breeds is envy. So guys, let's say for example in that corporate setup, watakuwa isolate, watakuweka kando, and you attract too much attention, utatokea kwa hizi maprogram za kuexpose wase because you appear too perfect. Watu watakudig. One way to get for people to dig information about you is to appear too perfect or to always be the one criticizing people and all those things. And if you do an investigation of everyone, there are flaws you'll find, a lot of them. So make sure that don't appear too perfect.
Don't.
Yes.
Okay, I think that has been a beautiful session, Larry.
Yeah, it's been a
Unasikiaje gems
Kodaro. Mi
gems
hata-
too?
Even the people who've bought this book need to watch this episode.
Please
True.
do.
Of
Please
course
do.
kuna wale wame misinterpret wengi sana. So they need to watch this episode.
And if you've not bought the book, watch the episode and then buy the book.
Nikaa tu set book venye tulikuwa tuna yes ushasoma but bado mnapitia una understand better. Sahi.
See now why I wrote it.
Najua hamtawajua. Hamtapatana na Silas mahali.
Yeah, you won't meet him.
This is us introducing you to him.
Divine privilege.
Divine privilege. by the way.
Lol. Okay, so now that we've said that the book is on sale, and I know orders zitakuja, kindly tell us where we can get the book, how much it is, deliveries zinafanywa kama niko nje ya nchi ama?
Online nimeiweka kwa all book selling platforms online. Apart from Amazon, because tunapitia hiyo process ya Amazon na super strict at looking at the book. They will make sure si publish kitu yenye si poa. So iko kwa all other sites, unaweza google to any site yenye iko na book, na hapo inatoka $6.99.
Okay.
But physical copy inatoka Punch, so 5. And mi nafanya hand delivery. Sijaingia, I'm telling you, I was not writing it to commercialize it.
Yeah.
But then again, the interest imeonesha ndio imefanya nione kumbe you can make something out of it.
Yeah.
So yeah, wewe ukitaka nitafute tu, hauwezi nikosa.
Sasa kuna mandugu zetu ma pirates, watu wa piracy,
wale wa
ndugu zetu,
kufotokopi.
Mapirates wa pirate tu, we pirate tu, bora ikusaidie. Ikusaidie kwa the bora
Knowledge ni
ikusaidie.
ile.
Knowledge ni ile ile.
Knowledge
Okay?
ni ile.
We pirate.
Itakuja na 100 and something.
Ukipirate
Signed
pia
by the author.
ni sawa. Hiyo ni power play pia. Unajua when you pirate na when you pirate it and put it in your house, I'm in your house, boss.
Yeah.
Mimi niko kwako. I'm in
What
your
a way.
house.
What a way to look at it. What a way.
Yes, so pirate it. It. Sijali.
Okay, so thank you so much for watching. We are going to put details zake, si number, maybe Instagram account, ama Facebook sana millennials, ndo?
Yeah.
Tunawezeka hizo zote ndio ujue venye utarget hiyo book.
Huwezi kosa, ukienda tu utaona tu mtu akibeba machuma.
Tutaweka,
Machuma zote
tutalink nini, okay, hapo. And then you contact him and then you'll get the book. So thank you so much for tuning into episode 1. It's been interesting. Thank you so much for honoring our invite.
Yeah.
He was not even invited, it was by default.
Yeah.
But thank
Invited
you for being
myself.
here. He actually did. But thank you so much. I know most of the time utakuwa behind the scene, but next time atakuwa hapa, mtaona pastor, next time mtaona deacon, kuna time tena mtaona businessman
Sailors and
Silas.
Sons.
Amekuja, amesema he wears many hats, so by default tukikosa guest ni yetu juu tuko kwake, tuko kwa mandhari yake. Yeah, so thank you so much.